Senator Obama says he'll refine his position on Iraq.
Barack Obama struggles to squelch any suggestion that he's shifting on the war.
Let's begin with this from Senator Obama this week.
And when I go to Iraq and I have a chance to talk to some of the commanders on the ground, I'm sure I'll have more information and we'll continue to refine my policies. Let me be as clear as I can be. I intend to end this war. My first day in office, I will bring the Joint Chiefs of Staff in and I will give them a new mission. And that is to end this war responsibly, deliberately, but decisively.
So is Barack Obama on the verge of refining his position, as he put it, into something new or not?
You think on Iraq he's coming towards John McCain?
I do, because, look, for a long time, Senator Obama said, let's get those troops out as quickly as we can, regardless of what's happening on the ground.
Here's the way he put it back in March.
In order to end this war responsibly, I will immediately begin to remove our troops from Iraq. We can responsibly remove 1 to 2 combat brigades each month. If we start with the number of brigades we have in Iraq today, we can remove all of them in 16 months.
At the debate back in April with Charles Gibson.
So you'd give the same rock-hard pledge that no matter what the military commander said, you would give the order, bring them home.
Because the commander-in-chief sets the mission, Charlie. That's not the role of the generals. And now, I will always listen to our commanders on the ground with respect to tactics, once I've given them a new mission.
There's been a significant change in Barack Obama's position on Iraq in the last week. He said very clearly throughout the whole primary campaign that he wanted the troops out as quickly as possible, regardless of conditions on the ground. That's what Senator McCain disagreed with.
But he just said during the primaries there that he would listen to the commanders on tactics.
Yeah, on tactics. But honestly, you listen to him what he said this week in Montana. He said he would be affected by what the commanders told him, and he'd be focused on what's good for the safety of our troops, which is very good, and for the stability of Iraq. Now, that's basically John McCain's position.
What Barack Obama is saying here, he's saying he's going to listen to the commanders on the ground. That is exactly what Senator McCain has been telling him he ought to do.
Stay there forever in battle.
Barack Obama has the same position as John McCain. Why should people vote for John McCain?
Why should people vote for Barack Obama? Senator Obama has been shifting.
He's trying to sort of do a feint to the center, and which candidates do. Look, this election's about Obama and who he is. I don't think we've learned much about him.
Because of Senator Obama's shifting, the American people are going to have to ask themselves on Iraq and a lot of other questions, which Barack Obama will govern if he is elected? Will it be the positions he took during the primary, or the positions that he's taking now?
That's the big question. And what I think is so interesting is how few people seem to know which one it is. People just don't know. He's a blank slate because he's so new. He is a kind of Rorschach test.
Barack Obama has a plan for ending the war. John McCain has a plan for continuing the war. And he has said so very clearly dozens and dozens of times. What the McCain campaign is trying to do is take the normal statement of anybody smart enough to be president of the United States and ready to be president, who says he'll may refine tactically what you might decide to do over the course of that withdrawal.
What I want to try to pin down is, what does it mean exactly? He's going to order a change in mission, timetable of 16 months, but listen to the commanders on tactics. So does that mean that after 2 or 3 months, if the commanders come and say, you know, we have to freeze with the withdrawals, there will be a freeze?
I think what it means is clearly Senator Obama is outlining a strategy to redeploy our forces out of Iraq. Senator McCain has a strategy of staying there indefinitely. That is the key significant strategic difference.
But you're saying if the forces are needed to protect American troops, this residual force could go up and all the combat troops might not come in.
I doubt very seriously, because the issue here is not so much, and this is where I think the debate gets to sort of bogged down in dates and details, etc. I think the way to focus on the debate is the missions that our forces have. The mission of force protection, the mission of counterterrorism, the mission of training, those are the missions that Senator Obama recognizes, and then he'll listen to the commanders about how to do that. But the clear strategy of redeploying forces out, coming down irreversibly, is a strategy that he's been consistently proposing.
Look, your colloquy with Senator Reid didn't really clear it up, for me at least. Senator Obama and his allies are talking about tactics versus strategy. People want to know what his policy is in Iraq. His statements, despite his saying they're not changed, I think at least are ambiguous.
Once the surge started to work, once the way to end the war became to win the war, the Democratic Party's position was untenable. Obama sees that it's untenable, and he is not going to stick to it, I think.
I think there's one core question for all their attempts to try to talk about tactics versus strategy. If there's new information that makes him not want to withdraw troops from Iraq, will he, before he becomes president, or if he's elected after, will he change his mission, the mission that he wants? And I don't think we know the answer to that.
Well, what do you think he's going to do? Is he going to end up?
How do I know what he's going to do? I don't know what he's going to do. He's in a box.
Putting himself in a box.
He is trying to get himself out of that box.
Maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, Michelle, for Obama to be perceived as pretty close to John McCain on Iraq.
Who would have guessed that Barack Obama is legitimizing George Bush's and the whole notion, George Bush's position on Iraq and the whole notion of a third term for Bush?
Do you think then that before the election, well before, perhaps even before the conventions, we will have a new Barack Obama position on Iraq?
We already have a new position. We already have a new position.
Everyone seems to agree then the shift on Iraq is at hand, if not already made.